and thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name is Julia Pattison. Before we get started moving our bodies, just want to make sure you have the appropriate things you might need to make yourself comfortable today. If you have a yoga block, we're looking for at least one, maybe two. If you don't have a block, no big deal. See if you can find a similar shape and size household item. Think maybe box of tissues, big can of soup, anything that resembles this size and shape. If you're tight in your lower body, like your hips and your hamstrings, you'll find that the props would be really helpful for today's practice. When you have what you need, join me and we'll get started. We'll start in just a comfortable seat. See if you can sit all the way down on the floor, legs crossed, and then we'll find yourself in your natural state and we'll switch the cross of the legs so the non-dominant leg is in front. Letting the hands rest in the lap or on the legs. If you find that this shape is just not available in your body for any reason, find a position that is comfortable today. We'll sit up nice and tall, eyes closed, and we'll just start to take some deep breaths here through the nose. Really big inhales and really big exhales, concentrating all of your attention, all of your thoughts on the breath. See if you can find some stillness from the belly button and below, sending breath into the upper belly and the upper chest, upper back. Really allowing yourself to concentrate on the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Noticing how you feel in the lower half of the body, the hips, the legs, any areas of tension and tightness, any areas that are feeling really good to you right now. And just knowing that we're going to focus a lot of our attention in this area today, using your breath to find a way to be comfortable throughout the practice. Starting that breath here and now so we can bring it with us through the remainder of the postures today. Let's bring hands to press together in front of the heart. We'll chant the sound of Om together one time. If you're comfortable joining with me, let's take a deep breath in to prepare. Release the hands and open the eyes. You should still have your non-dominant leg in front. If your feet are not directly on the floor, do that. So one foot slightly forward of the other. Bring your hands to the floor in front of your legs. Just walk yourself as far forward as you can comfortably, increasing the stretch in the hips and the back. If you're really mobile like myself, you might bring your forearms to the floor. You might find that you can walk yourself all the way out, maybe head rests all the way down on the mat. And just find a place that you can stay for a few breaths, stretching only to the place that feels best. You don't have to bring yourself all the way down to the floor. You could certainly just stay mostly upright. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Try to resist your urge to be fidgety. 1 more breath here. Walking your hands all the way back in, switch the cross of the legs. And this should feel like you're more comfortable and maybe easier side. Hands come to the floor, we'll do the same thing, bring yourself all the way out. And you'll probably notice one side feels easier than the other. It's possible that both sides feel identical. Just try to use your breath. Try not to worry about which side is easier and which side isn't. It's normal for the body to feel slightly imbalanced. Let's take 1 more breath in this position. And slowly bring yourself all the way up. And we'll find our way to tabletop position. Come to hands and knees. Shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Spread the fingers wide. We'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. As you inhale, bring your belly towards the floor. Tailbone tilts up, head lift, shoulders back, cow pose. Exhale, round the back, drop the head, squeeze the belly for cat. Again, inhale, cow pose, stretch yourself long. Exhale, cat pose, squeeze yourself in. Do it again, inhale. And exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, come to cat. Inhale, find a neutral position with the spine. Exhale, child's pose, bring feet together, knees apart, head coming towards the mat. Rest your head all the way on the mat if you're able. In the practice of yoga, we consider this position to be a resting posture. If there's ever a moment when you're needing a break from practice, you can always come here, resting in this shape for as long as you need to. Join us again whenever you're ready. We'll take one more breath in our child pose. Big breath in, full breath out. Inhale back into tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes and lift your hips high. And take little movements here, melting one heel towards the mat, then the other. Any intuitive movements that help you stretch out the legs. Maybe take a gaze forward at your hands. Notice if you can press through the fingertips and the knuckles a little more purposely. Rooting weight in all parts of your hands. Sending weight into the feet. The legs feel really strong. Legs and arms feel like they're doing just about the same amount of work. Squeezing in through the belly. Breathe here, finding stillness. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, take your right leg lifted high. Exhale, bring knee towards your nose. Step your foot between your hands. And wiggle it as far forward as it can go until it's directly between your hands. Line up the heel of your left hand with the heel of your right foot. Feel welcome to use a block. Right arm reaches high. Big twist. Gazing in the direction of your lifted hand if you can. Really rotate the shoulders wide open. If this feels too intense for you, feel free to drop your back knee to the floor. Otherwise, keep that leg lifted. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Down dog split, step back, right leg is up in the air. Bend your knee, let your hips open all the way up. Maybe right knee points towards the ceiling. Left heel stretches towards the mat. Breathe one more time. Take any little movements here that feel good to you. And then exhale, both feet find the floor. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Exhale, bring knee towards your nose. Step forward, find your lunge. Wiggle that foot all the way up between your hands. Heel of right hand lines up with heel of left foot. Left arm is high. Big twist. See if you can squeeze the belly. Take your gaze up towards your lifted hand if you're able. Big twist in those shoulders. Take one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Down dog split, step back. Left leg is high. Knee is bent, hips are wide open, just like on the first side. See if you can melt right heel down, left knee opens wider. Take any movements that feel good to you here. One more breath, we hold, inhale. Exhale, both feet find the floor. Building some stamina here in our downward facing dog. We'll hold for just another breath. Big inhale and exhale. Inhale to look forward, lift up onto the tips of the toes. Exhale, walk your feet all the way up to the top of the mat, finding a forward fold position. Bring your feet together all the way if you can. Inhale, lift halfway, gaze forward, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Feel free to bend into your knees. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms reaching high overhead. Exhale, arms by your sides. Starting with a few rounds of our sun salutations. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Feel free to drop your knees as you lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the head. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips. 5 breaths we hold. Inhale and exhale. That's 1. You can drop your knees to the mat to rest at any time. 2 3, 4, 5. Inhale, step or hop forward, halfway lift. Come back to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms reach high. Exhale, arms by your sides. We'll do it again. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Remember, knees can be on the mat as you lower. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. 5 breaths again. Inhale. Exhale. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms high. Exhale, arms by your sides. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Take your time. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale back, downward facing dog. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, walk or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms high. Exhale, arms by your sides. Surya Namaskara B, bend your knees. Feet together, arms high, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Warrior 1. Exhale, chaturanga. Try not to hold your breath. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, rise. Same pose, other side. Exhale, chaturanga. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, walk or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Inhale, sit low, reach high. Exhale, straighten the legs, arms come by the sides. We'll do it again. Bend the knees, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot forward, inhale, rise up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Inhale, walk or hop forward, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, legs are straight. Arms come by the sides. Let's do one more. Bend the knees, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time we'll hold here today. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, walk or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend into your knees. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, legs straight, arms by your sides. Great job. You should feel nice and warm now. Let's take the feet apart about hips width distance, about the space of your own 2 fists between your feet. Fold forward. Hold on to your big toes. First and middle fingers hold your toes. Padangusthasana. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Chin towards the chest. Feel free to have a bend in your knees. If your legs are straight, you might bend into your elbows. See if you can lift the lower belly in and up. Lean a little bit forward. Let there be some weight in your toes. Not all the weight should be in your heels. One more breath here. Inhale, lift up your head. Exhale here. Bring your hands under your feet if you're able. Palms face up. Padahasasana, deep breath in. Exhale and fold. Come in a little bit deeper. And we're just gonna hold for a few moments. If at any point you feel like you need to release the posture early, feel free. Just like in the previous pose, if you can lean a little forward, some weight in the toes. Lower belly's lifting in and up, helping you to fold deeper. One more breath. Inhale, head lifts up. Exhale here. Release your hands, stand all the way up. Arms by your sides, and your feet come together. Let's continue. Inhale, arms reach high. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plank pose. Exhale, step back. One foot, bend the other. Feet are together. If you're having any issues with your wrists, I recommend lowering to your forearms. We'll find a side plank, rolling over onto the left side. Right arm is high. Feet are stacked if you're able, looking towards your lifted hand. If this doesn't feel like a good place for you, maybe left knee drops to the floor. Holding here for 5. Take any version of the pose you like. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both hands down. Right over to the other side. Right side down and left side up. Try to do whatever you did before. Maybe feet stacked, maybe right knee down, gazing up if you can. Strong everywhere, hold for 5. 4, 3, deep breaths, 2, 1. Both hands come to the floor. Find your plank pose, separate your feet, take a deep breath in. Chaturanga as you exhale. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Take a nice deep breath in. Full breath out. Do that again, big inhale. And a long exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, squeeze knee towards your nose. Step forward, warrior 2. Inhale, come on up. See if you can find a long enough stance that bending your front leg a lot feels possible. Letting there be a lot of weight in your back foot. Both legs feel strong. Gazing forward over that front middle finger. Concentrate your gaze. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, right hand finds the inside of the right foot. Maybe you find a block. Left arm reaches high. And if you can, you're going to look in the direction of your lifted hand. Continue to bend that front leg as much as you can without any risk of injury. Stay here with the left arm high, or switch your arm to be behind your back and find a half bind. If your arms are long and mobile like mine, maybe your left hand finds the inner part of your right leg. If you know and practice a full bind, feel free to work towards that position. Left shoulder points all the way up. Hold for 3. Nice big breaths. Hold for 2. 1 more breath here. Inhale, right hand down, left arm up, pause. And then rise, inhale all the way up. Both legs are straight, right arm reaches up and back. Radiant triangle pose. Really extend all the way open, big stretch in that right side body. 1 more breath. Inhale, arms parallel to the floor. Take a slightly shorter stance. Exhale, triangle pose, right hand towards the right leg, left arm high towards the ceiling. If you can't keep both legs straight, just do the best you can. Continue to send some weight into that back foot. Feels like there's a little twist in the upper body as you rotate open, gaze up. 2 more breaths here. And 1 more breath here. Inhale, rise, all the way up. Hands to the waist, exhale. Both feet are parallel with each other, so turn your right toes in. You might take a slightly wider stance. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and fold forward. Hands to the floor. Breathe in here and exhale, fold, chin towards the chest, head towards the floor. You can leave your hands on the mat. Maybe a bend in the elbows helps you fold deeper. Alternatively, you might have your hands holding your legs, your feet, or your big toes. Any of those options will be great. Maybe rotate between them. Squeeze in through the belly and fold into your deepest place. Take 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath here. Inhale, lift up your head. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor if they were somewhere else. Pivot your right foot to point forward. Walk your hands towards your right foot. Drop your left knee to the mat. And take your arms, reach them all the way up high. If your back knee is sensitive to being on the floor, place a blanket or a pillow underneath your back knee for some extra comfort. Palms come together over your head. Gently tuck your chin in towards your chest. See if you can bend your elbows so your hands come behind your head towards the base of your neck. Squeeze elbows towards each other and then lift head up into the arms. Squeeze in through the belly. Likely you're feeling maybe your favorite stretch of the whole practice. Let's hold here and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms are up high. Exhale, hands find the floor. Front leg is straight, half split, folding forward, chest and head towards your right leg. Here's a great place for blocks. Block could Blocks could be underneath of your hands here to help you reach the floor more comfortably. If you don't have props, you could just keep your front leg bent if that feels like it would be easier for you. Take one more breath, folding even deeper, releasing your lunge. And then slowly bend back into your lunge. Hands are on the floor next to your foot. Step back, down dog split. Right leg is up in the air. Bending your knee, open your hips, just like we did at the beginning of practice. Stay here or take any little movements that feel good. If you know in practice flipping your dog, you might drop that foot to the floor and really extend yourself into a back bending leg position. One more breath here. And then we'll all the way back. Downward facing dog. Couple options from here. You could stay in your down dog. Drop your knees for a rest if you want child's pose, or take a vinyasa. Coming forward into chaturanga, and then up dog, back to downward facing dog. We'll breathe together here. Nice big inhale and exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts high. Exhale, bring knee forward towards your nose. Warrior two is where we're going. Step forward and rise up. Inhale, here we are. Just preparing to do all of that on the other side. Take a big bend in that front leg. Sending weight into the back foot. Really active everywhere here. Strong in the belly. One more breath. Take a big inhale. Exhale, drop left hand inside left foot. Right arm reaches up high. Lots of weight in the back foot, keeping your stamina in the posture. Gaze in the direction of your lifted hand if you're able. Remember, you can stay here, or you might find a half bind, wrapping your right arm behind your back. Maybe right palm finds the inner part of that front leg. Gazing in the direction of your top shoulder and beyond. Really open up through the chest. Let's hold and breathe here for a little bit longer. Just stay for another 3. Hold here for another 2. One more breath. Find your deepest place. Do whatever you did on the first side. Good. Inhale. Arms extend, open. Left hand down. Right arm up. Exhale here. Inhale, rise. Legs are straight. Left arm is high. Radiant triangle pose. Big open through that whole left side body. Big stretch here to release. One more breath. Good. Inhale, bring yourself upright. Exhale here. Take a slightly shorter stance. Prepare. Big inhale. Triangle pose. Exhale. Left hand down and right arm up high. Left hand can be anywhere on that left leg. Over time, maybe it's the foot. Hold and breathe. We'll stay for 3. Holding here, we'll stay for 2. One more breath. Then rise up, inhale. Hands to your waist, exhale. Left foot turns in, feet are parallel with each other. Hands come behind the back. Let your fingers interlace together. If that doesn't feel good on your shoulders, you could simply just have your hands holding your waist instead. Let's take a deep breath in, prepare, and fold. Exhale, head comes towards the mat. Arms reach away from your back and overhead. Breathing here through the nose, nice and steady. If at any point this feels too intense, hands can be on the mat instead. Otherwise, we'll stay and breathe for 3. Squeeze between the shoulder blades, holding here for 2. Maybe those arms can reach a little further overhead. Lean into those toes. Last breath here. Good. Stay in your fold. Just gently let both of your hands find the mat. Folding a little bit deeper. Let your head hang heavy just for a moment. Inhale, head lifts up. Exhale, pivot left foot forward. Crawl into your lunge. Back knee comes down to the floor. Arms reach high up towards the ceiling. Palms pressing together over your head. See if you can lunge yourself nice and low. Big stretch here through the front side of the back leg. Lower belly's really active. Chin tucks towards the chest, just like we did on the first side.
Hands come behind the head towards the base of the neck. Palms are still pressing together. Elbows squeeze in towards each other. Head lifts up into the arms. Nice big stretch here through the triceps. Maybe all the way down through the armpits and through the chest. Let's hold and breathe here for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, hands come down. Front leg is straight, come to your half split. Hips shift back. Hands could be on blocks. Folding forward, chest and head towards your front leg. And just breathe for a few moments. This should feel like a welcomed release after holding our lunge. Little stretch in that left hamstring too. One more breath here. Slowly bend back into your lunge. Step back, down dog split. Left leg up in the air. Bending your knee, opening up your hips. Remember, you can stay here. You can take any little movements you like. You might like to flip your dog, flip yourself over, finding a back bending like position. See if you can open yourself all the way up. One more big breath. And then gently come back, downward facing dog. Stay here in your down dog. Rest with your knees on the floor for child's pose, or follow me through a vinyasa. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And we'll breathe together in, and we'll breathe together out. Inhale, the right leg lifts high. Exhale, bring right knee towards the right arm. Lizard pose. Step your foot to the outside of your right hand. And stay up on your hands for a moment here so you can line up the heels of your hands with the heel of your front foot. Wiggle your back foot a little further back. Long lunge stance here. And then drop your back knee down to the floor. Feel free to stay up on your hands. Otherwise, if it feels like a comfortable place, you might bring yourself down to your forearms. And then I'm going to offer a bunch of variations from here, so feel free to stay right where you are. If you want to take this one step further, see if you can reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and then towards the back of the room. Option to bend your back leg and hold that back foot with your hand. Big stretch open, feels like you're twisting open here through the chest. Maybe rolling out onto the outer edge of that right foot. Right knee drops towards the floor. Keep that ankle safe by flexing the foot. Hold for 5. 4. Lots of variations of the pose. Find the one that's right for you. 3, 2, 1. Gently release where you are. Both hands find the floor. Straighten your front leg and find half split, just like we did before. Front leg is straight. Fold chest and head down. Breathing one more time here. And then listen carefully. Slowly bend your front leg and lift your back leg. Standing split. Hands could be on blocks. Otherwise, they're on the floor. And see if you can walk them slightly more forward. Feels like you're in a halfway lift with the spine. Stay here with both hands on the mat, or keep your right hand down. Start to open up your left hip towards the ceiling. Left hand finds the left waist. Keep your eyes on the floor. We're moving towards Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Maybe your left arm reaches high. Remember, your right hand could be on a block. For more of a challenge, take your gaze towards the wall, or maybe all the way up towards the ceiling. Breathing here. If you know the shape Trapasana, you might bend your top leg, hold that foot with your lifted hand, and we'll stay here and breathe for another 3. Hold here for another 2. One more breath. Gently both hands to the mat, and then both feet to the floor. Forward fold. Very nice, everybody. Take your feet out as wide as your mat. Take a bend in your knees. Malasana.
Nice place to readjust your clothing or your hair. And we'll just take a moment to sit up nice and tall. If you're able to let your heels be on the mat, bring them there. Hips do not have to be low. If you feel like you'd rather just sit down on the floor, that's also great. Option is stay right here in your malasana, or you might practice bakasana, crow pose, by bringing your hands to the floor. I like to come into crow pose with my feet together. Knees come up to the backs of the arms, feet come up and off the floor. We'll hold for 3, stay for 2, and on 1, bring yourself out of the pose. Maybe just go straight to downward facing dog. Otherwise, move through a vinyasa at your own pace. Chaturanga, up dog, back to down dog. We'll breathe through the nose together. Nice big inhale and exhale. Inhale, the left leg is high. Exhale, knee towards the left arm. Step forward, left hand out, or left foot outside left hand for lizard pose. Heels of the hands lining up with heel of the front foot, so you can wiggle that back foot even further back. Allowing yourself to find a big long stance and then lower your back knee down to the floor. If it feels appropriate, and also if you did so on the first side, you might explore dropping down onto the forearms, gazing slightly forward. Try to resist the temptation to look behind you and instead look just slightly in front of the mat. Option to stay where you are, or left arm reaches up towards the ceiling and then towards the back of your mat. Maybe you bend your back foot and pull it in towards the body using your lifted hand. Maybe you roll onto the outer edge of that front foot, letting your knee fall open. Keep your ankle safe with the foot flexed. Remember, these are just options. Feel free to stay in the most basic version of lizard. We'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently release. Both hands find the floor. Framing one hand on either side of that front leg as you straighten the leg and fold, half split. One more breath here. We're gonna bend into that front leg. Remember, we're moving into standing split. Back leg lifts high. Hands are slightly forward of that standing foot, looking for that halfway lift sensation with the spine nice and long. You can stay right here in your standing split or start to open up your hips, moving towards your half moon. Right hand could find the right waist. Right hip opens up. Maybe right arm reaching up high. If you're like me and you're struggling to find your balance today, eyes at the floor. For an extra challenge, take your eyes up towards the lifted hand. Chapasana might be eventually where you go, reaching for that lifted foot with your lifted hand, creating a back bending sensation in this hip opener. Let's hold and breathe for 3. Hold and breathe for 2. One more breath, find your deepest place. And then gently, both hands are down. Both feet are down. Forward fold. And because I really believe it's the counter stretch for everything in life, let's take one more visit to Malasana. Feet wide and hips low. Get a nice place to readjust the clothing or the hair. We'll sit up nice and tall. Find the version of the pose that makes sense for you to be in today. We're going to take a different exit plan out of the posture than we did the first time we were here. So follow along with me if you're able. Take your hands forward and see if you can sit down without using your hands right into Navasana. See if your feet can lift. Legs could be bent, even feet could be on the floor. Try to get your chest up, legs together, and we'll breathe here, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower to a hover, and then come back up and breathe again for 5, 4,
3, 2, 1 again. We'll lower to a hover. One more time, right back up, breathe, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower to a hover, gaze at your toes, and hold for 5, 4, you can do it, 3, 2, 1. Release, arms overhead, legs long, point your toes, stretch your body long in opposite directions. And pause for an extra moment here. We'll pull the knees into the chest. Rock yourself up. Find a seat. Roll over your knees and sit back. We'll find upward facing dog. Maybe you find chaturanga first. Otherwise, just find this nice big back bending leg shape. Hands on the floor, maybe knees on the floor. Chest and head lifted. Stretching out through the front body. Downward facing dog. Let's meet there. And we'll breathe through the nose. Nice big inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Lower all the way to the floor. Bring your feet together. Bring your arms long by your sides. Let your forehead rest down on the mat for the moment. See if your big toes and your ankle bones can touch. Legs so straight, the kneecaps feel like they're lifting away from the floor. Squeeze in, lower belly. Shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. Palms face up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, lift the legs, lift the chest, lift the head. Hands stay on the mat. Keep your legs straight enough that you feel like as you lift, your thigh muscles could lift off the floor. Everything is strong. One more breath here. Stay lifted, switch your hand position. Looks like chaturanga, elbows are bent, palms are flat, shoulders roll back, lift the legs a little higher, breathe 5, 4, 3, try to lift those legs even higher, 2, on 1 feet down, chest up, upward facing dog, big breath in, downward facing dog, exhale, full breath out. Breathe through your nose, big inhale, full exhale. And find a seat, step or hop, come forward and sit down. We'll transition onto our backs and we'll set up to do a couple back bends today. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor. If you feel like there's any safety reason why you should not be practicing a back bend, then I invite you to just sit this part of the practice out. Otherwise, we'll start with bridge pose. Arms by your sides. And see if your legs can feel nice and strong. Press all parts of the spine into the floor. Feels like your pubic bone is tilted. It should be just slightly tilted up. When we lift the body, let's lift in this order. Lift from the lower butt, then the upper butt, lower back, middle back, upper back, all the way up. Stay here with the arms by the sides. Feel free to have your hands interlacing under your back. Or if you're really mobile with your back bends, maybe your hands hold your ankles and you can lift up a little bit higher. Tilt your pubic bone higher than your knees if you can, or just imagine getting there one day. Belly is strong. Try not to lead with the belly. Lift a little higher. Chest towards the chin. One more breath. As you lower middle back, lower back, and then butt. Come all the way down. We're going to do 3 more. Feel free to stay with whatever you just did. If you want to move towards wheel pose, the option is there for you to do that. Let's go up again. Inhale, lift, same order. I like to press from bridge to wheel. Maybe you'll do the same. Coming up with straight arms. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, come down, pause. Come right back up and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, come down, right back up. Inhale, lift. Last time. Let's hold and breathe. We'll stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, come all the way out. Nice job, everybody. Take a little sway of your legs. Rotate them a little bit from side to side. And then rock yourself up and find a seat. We'll extend the legs straight forward. Taking your hands on your thighs. Walk them as far forward as you can until you can't go any further. Maybe you make it to hold the feet for a forward fold. Paschimottanasana. Let your head hang heavy. The opposite of our back bends, right? We're just releasing the back. Keep the low belly strong so you're not straining the lower back to fold. If it feels like you should bend your knees, feel free. One more breath. Slowly come all the way up. Plant your hands to be behind your body. Point your toes forward. If it feels like you should bend your knees once we get into this posture, feel free. Otherwise, try to keep your legs straight. Purvavoltanasana. Inhale, hips lift high. Toes come towards the floor. Shoulders roll slightly forward as the head drops back. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Come all the way down. Nice job. Let's meet in downward facing dog. If you want to move through a vinyasa, take chaturanga, up dog, down dog at your own pace. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Setting up for pigeon pose, maybe the king of all hip stretches. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, pull your right leg forward. Set up for this hip stretch. Let's pause for a moment here up on the hands. See if your right knee can be a little bit wider than your right hip. Right foot towards the left edge of your mat. If this is painful for your knee joint, please come out of the posture immediately. Or if you have any other safety concerns, please just skip this pose altogether. If it feels like you can, you might drop to your forearms. You might even lower your chest all the way to the floor. Find the place that feels best for you. Looking to feel a stretch through that right hip. If you're lucky, maybe also through the front side of the left leg. And see if you can just breathe strong through the belly. We'll hold here for 5. 4. 3. Slow the breath down even more. 2. 1. Slowly make your way up to your hands and find downward facing dog. Right leg is up in the air. Down dog split, any movements you'd like. Circular motions through the hip, through the ankle. Eventually finding your way to downward facing dog. If there's another counter movement that serves you better, feel free to find that position. Otherwise, we'll just take ourselves to the other side. Inhale, left leg is high. Exhale, pull yourself forward, pigeon pose. Back knee comes down. Just find the right place for yourself here. Remember, no knee pain, really, really important. No pain in the body anywhere, but especially in the knee joint. Feel free to stay up on the hands. Otherwise, you can lower down to the forearms. Find a place for yourself that feels good. Remember, we're targeting a stretch through that left side, maybe the glute, maybe the hip, maybe the back. Maybe the front side of the back leg's getting a little stretch as well. Depending on where tightness is in your body, you might feel this a whole variety of places. Let's hold for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And slowly we'll come up to the hands. Find your way back into down dog split. Left leg lifts up high in the air. Knee bends, a little opening here through the hips. Any little movements you'd like. There's nothing right or wrong to do here, so use your intuition. Move around however you'd like. Eventually we'll meet in downward facing dog, optional vinyasa. Move at your own pace if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just stay in your downward facing dog a little bit longer. And from here, we'll drop the knees to the floor, sitting up for an active inversion today. And so we're gonna set up to practice dolphin pose, which is one of my favorite postures in the practice. Really prepares us for most active inversions. From here, we wanna bring the forearms to the floor. I like to have the hands interlaced, but you could certainly just press your palms together, your choice entirely. We're gonna take the knees off the mat, coming towards the toes. See if you can just walk your feet in as close as you can get them to be. Optional lift to the tips of the toes. And you can stay here. Maybe you lift your right leg high and hold, and then switch and you lift your left leg up and hold. Or maybe you bring your head to the floor, block your feet in closer, and bring yourself up into Shirshasana, headstand. Your choice entirely. We'll hold and breathe for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, big breaths, 4, 3, 2, on 1. If you're still up and wanting to hold, stay there. Otherwise, you can bring your knees to the floor, and we'll all find child's pose, head on the mat, and release your arms to be beside you, next to your legs. And see if you can just relax through the shoulders. One more breath here. Stay longer in your child's pose. Or once again, optional vinyasa. Bring yourself into chaturanga, and then up dog, and downward facing dog. We'll all gradually make our way to the floor, laying on our backs. And so meet me there. Knees pull in towards the chest. And we'll find a nice easy twist, lowering the legs all the way over to the left side of your mat. Right arm extends all the way over to the right. If you're looking for a deeper twisting sensation, wrap your top leg around your bottom leg and see if that makes things more comfortable for you. We're hoping for this to be as effortless as possible. So let your breath flow easily. Maybe your eyes are closed, releasing tension out of the torso, releasing tension out of the spine. One more breath here. And coming back to center. We'll twist the other way, legs fall to the right, left arm to the left. And try to do whatever you did on the first side. If you were wrapping top leg around the bottom leg, go ahead and repeat that. Slow the breath down even more. One more breath. We'll come back to center. Pull your knees in towards your chest, just a slight little flattening of the spine into the floor. And then find Supta Baddha Konasana by bringing the soles of your feet to touch. Feet are resting on the floor as close or as far from the body as you'd like. Arms can be in any position by your sides, hands on your belly, hands on your chest, arms overhead. Lots of choices. Find the one that makes sense for you. Close your eyes. And see if you can follow the breathing pattern I'm about to lead. helping you to find a relaxed state as we prepare for Shavasana. Let's just take a simple breath here. Inhale fully and exhale fully. And follow this breath if you can. Take a deep breath in for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue like that. Find a rhythm that makes sense for you. Feel welcome to breathe faster or slower based on your preference. Inhaling, thoughts of purpose, and exhaling really intentionally. Keeping the rhythm of this breath. You're welcome to stay where you are with your legs in the position you have them, or you can gently start to extend the legs long, releasing your arms to be by your sides for a traditional Shavasana shape, releasing all tension from the body as you continue to practice this rhythmic breath, bringing you to this peaceful state of rest. We'll enjoy silence for the next few minutes together. Slowly beginning to make small movements with your body to reawaken. Gentle wiggles through your fingers and toes. Bring your body back to life. Breathing in a purposeful way once again. Big inhale. Maybe open the mouth as you exhale. Bending one knee and then the other until your feet plant on your mat. Stay here or pull your legs in towards your body. A little gentle hug for yourself. Stay on your back or maybe roll over to one side. Pausing for a moment. Thanking yourself for making time in your day to practice yoga. Feeling grateful for this yoga practice and all of the many benefits it offers your body and your mind. Moving slowly, join me in a seated position. Legs are crossed, hands finding their way into prayer. Eyes can remain closed. We'll chant the sound of Om together one more time. Let's take a deep breath in. Namaste. Thanks everybody for joining me today. Appreciate it.
will be more videos to come, so I hope you'll join in for our next practice soon. Have a great day.